Warm. Our normal high is about 90. And of course, the big story today is going to be the wind. This morning, about 11 to 16 miles an hour. It's 16 miles an hour right now. This afternoon, sustained winds will be above 20 miles an hour. And as I mentioned before, gusts about 40 miles an hour. And again, you'll start seeing the clouds roll in. That means a few clouds tonight. Still breezy, 58 for the overnight low. Just the slightest chance of some light showers. We need some big time rain. We haven't gotten any of that. Wind will be dying down a little bit, and then it picks back up on Tuesday as the pressure gradients are going to tighten. We'll get up to about 80, 81 right around there. Still breezy. Not quite as windy tomorrow as today, and then the winds really start dying down on Wednesday, and then we get hot again. Big dome of high pressure is going to start moving in Wednesday into Thursday. We go right back to sunny and hot conditions. That's it for us. Good to be back. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Hey, Street Talk and other stuff. Mike, Mad Dog Magnati, thanks for tuning in on this fine Monday. I've got a good show today. This is one of my favorites, okay? My guest today is one of the favorite guys I have coming on. It's a good thing. And I don't really have a joke, but I want to comment something before we start on this whole Barbie-Oppenheimer thing, this Barbieheimer thing. You know, maybe these two movies are what's finally going to bring this country together, okay? Barbie and Oppenheimer. You've got no Oppenheimer people hating on Barbie, and you got no Barbie people hating on Oppenheimer. Maybe this is a lesson for all of us, is what I'm saying. But hey, like I say, we've got a good show, got a cool guest, so stick around. Street Talk and other stuff. Mike, Mad Dog Magnati, we will be right back.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. Uh-oh! Les Schwab Tires is too. Because Les Schwab fixes brakes, steering, and more. See those guys? They just do tires. Eyes ahead, Dad! Look, I'm not telling people how to do their job. Blinker, I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first. Watch, they're gonna come greet me.
Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Badger Mountain Brewery is your cure for boredom. Jam Night Mondays. Trivia Wednesdays. Live Music Fridays. And Sunday Brunch. There's always something brewing at Badger Mountain, so come join the party.
Okay, we're back. Street Talk and other stuff, and I'm very happy to once again.
Scared me a little bit.
Once again, welcome one of my favorite guests. Shake my hand, Jamie. Don't leave me out here. Don't leave me out here in the cold, buddy. Jaime Donegan. Jamie is the
Mike,
director.
what's your last name again?
Magnati.
Okay.
But just call me Mike.
Mike.
Okay. Or call me Sir.
Okay, sir. Good
But
job,
Jamie,
sir.
I know many of you know, he's been the director of the Farleys for many, many years. He's been directing.
23 years.
Actually, you and 23.
23 years for the Follies, yeah.
And you and Matt Cadman came up with the idea for Hot August Nights, and this was about 12, 14 years ago?
10 years ago.
10 years
we started
ago.
in 2013. It was actually Don Fox, who used to be the technical director here at the PAC,
Yeah.
it was his idea initially, and he came to me, and he said, "What do you think? You want to do this? This theater sits empty."
Because the
all
thought
summer."
was, we're not going to get anywhere in summer, right? Wasn't it kind of?
That's what everybody said, and I'm like, well, we have really nothing to lose. Let's do something, and so we presented it to Matt Cadman, who had just started as the executive director of the PAC, and he was like, "I think it's a great idea," because before that, they would pretty much lay their staff off for the summer because no one used that beautiful theater, and so we're really, really happy that we bucked the system. They're like, "Oh, nobody will come see summer theater. They're going to go to Leavenworth if they want to see summer theater." And I said, "Well, Leavenworth's great. They have awesome shows, but we want to do something different. We want to do edgier shows. We want to play around." And then Don Fox says, "And we're going to put the whole thing on the stage." And I was like, "Yes."
Yeah, and that's great. I love that. I love the way you
Such a
stage it.
great experience.
It's cool, both as a performer and an audience member, to be that close to the action. You can see the facial expressions. You can catch the nuances much better. Somebody like me, it's nice because you can hear them.
Yeah. Yeah, you can sit out in the house and watch shows and everything, but with that, I think everybody's like sitting back and relaxing and just watching the show. What I love about our setup, where we put 200 seats on the stage with the actors, is that there's a point in the show always, and I watch for it because it tends to be consistent across the board with a particular show, is I watch the audience lean in.
Yeah.
And they're like, that, and then I know they have engaged.
Yeah.
And at that point, everything changes.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
And
because the actors see it.
Yes.
The audience feels the energy flow, and it's very unique.
That's one of the coolest things about live theater, both as a performer and an audience people, that time where everything just clicks, So, okay, Kinky Boots.
Kinky Boots.
Tell us about Kinky.
Kinky Boots. Okay, so this was a British film.
Right, but when is it going to be? And tell people about tickets.
Do we know that at first?
Yeah.
I thought you'd have music for this.
Oh, sorry. Da, 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 da.
Kinky Boots opens August 3rd. It runs 3 weekends, Thursday, Friday, Saturday production for the next 3 weeks. So the 3rd through the 19th. On the 12th, we have 2 shows. It's the only matinee that we have. So we have a matinee that day and an evening show. But what a show this is going to be.
And tickets where?
Tickets at the Numerica PAC.
Right, very
you can
simple
go
to find.
online. You can go to numericapac.org, get your tickets. You can call in. You can stop by and get your tickets. Everybody at that box office is so friendly and helpful, and they pull out the charts, and you can pick your seats, and it's all good. Because typically, people doing it online, they're like, I don't know what's what, because we don't do the normal configuration.
Right.
And Hot August Nights configuration changes every year. So it's always a little difficult for people to imagine. How fun was it last year to walk into the theater and the whole audience was sitting on the stage, and the whole stage had been built out over the seats.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was a cool turnaround, and it was a surprise because when you got to the theater, you didn't know it, and then curtain opens and there you are. But
Okay,
anyway,
so tell us about the show.
Tickets are still available, although I'm told by the box office this is one of our best-selling shows right now. So far, tickets are flying off the shelf, and we're really excited about that. There's not a bad seat. It's going to be an amazing production, and you are going to be blown away. Now I'm going to tell you about the show.
Yes, please. Okay.
Kinky Boots. This is based on a British film that was kind of a cult hit at the beginning, and then its popularity grew and grew and grew. Based on a true story about a 4th generation high-end men's shoe factory in Northampton, which is about an hour and a half north of London. And the young son, I mean, this is a common tale right here. 4th generation, the next son in line has no interest in taking over this dying business.
The shoe factory,
it's so easy to go on Amazon, order a pair of shoes made somewhere, nobody cares. But this is like fine, beautiful leather. Northampton's primarily a tanning, leather tanning city. And so a lot of that happening, and so these products that are made of leather are made there, and it's very rural, it's countryside, and he dreams of moving to London with his girlfriend to be real estate agents and just have a different life outside of rural Northampton. He's not interested, and his father's disappointed, of course, and then there's a turn of events, and then he has to come back and face all the people in the factory who essentially raised him.
Right.
And tell them that they're, you know,
Losing their jobs.
Their job is on the
over.
line.
Closing the factory.
And so in a chance meeting, he meets someone named Lola.
Okay.
And Lola intrigues him, and based on some information that he's given, he realizes that maybe the way to make the shoe factory work is to change the product.
Okay.
And so he starts making kinky boots, hence the sparkling, dazzling, thigh-high boots and niche market. And that's what all the other businesses around are figuring out a niche market. One company starts making hiking boots, another one starts making cool sandals and stuff like that. So getting away from what the tried and true was and exploring a new product that possibly will sell. So this is based on a true story. This really, really happened.
And I didn't know that. I did not know it was based on a true story.
Yeah.
So that's cool to hear.
So in fact, this came out in 2012. This was a big Broadway hit in 2012. The movie's been around since mid-2000s, and that factory just closed down this year.
Oh, really?
So but it had a good run, again, as a newly invented company. So anyway, it's about family dynamics, it's about expectation, generational. I remember, this has happened in a lot of families.
Sure.
The son or the daughter's like, I really don't want to be in that business. But so it's not a new story.
No.
The events surrounding it are very interesting and intriguing, and that makes it a lot of fun. The character of Lola is larger than life, and changes young Charlie's life for the better. And they feed off of each other. They are very different. They find their similarities, and then they lift each other up, which is great.
And you were saying you got great voices for this show.
Oh my gosh.
People
Such
are going to be
great
blown away with
voices.
the music.
Yeah.
Cyndi Lauper did all the music.
Cyndi Lauper wrote the music and lyrics, and Harvey Fierstein wrote the book.
Right.
And Harvey Fierstein, known for a lot of Broadway musicals, La Cage aux Folles in particular. And Cyndi Lauper, this is her first musical, and songs are very Cyndi Lauper-esque. Lauper-ish? I don't even know if that's Lauper-esque.
That'll work.
L'opera, l'opera.
that'll
I don't
work.
know. Opera? No, anyway. Super fun music, heartwarming ballads, and really fast-paced, almost kind of disco-y kind of songs. It's got an 80s vibe, although it is current day.
There was some good music in the 80s.
But because of her song stylings, it's got an 80s feel to it, and so we're kind of leaning into that in the costuming and the hairstyles and so forth. So really fun, and some major, major, powerful, big songs, big message songs, but also, like, you have to have major voices for this show. You can't just mess around with this.
Right, cool.
So we...
So it's a good thing I didn't try out. You would have had to break my arm. I said, Mike,
it would have
Mike, you
been
just
a
don't cut it, dude.
It would have been a tough call for me.
He wouldn't have had any problem.
Actually, Rosie called me and she said, no, not happening, not happening.
No, she said that about
Full Monty.
Full Monty.
Yes, I remember that. I do remember that. Anyway, we've got two leads that are just sensational. Elijah Caldwell will be playing the role of Lola. Elijah is an adjunct professor at Marymount College in Manhattan.
Okay.
Along with my choreographer, Bethany, who is here as, I think this is her fourth or fifth show, I think.
Very nice one. Very nice
She's
one.
amazing.
Yeah.
She makes my job so easy because we speak the same language, both physically and mentally. We're oftentimes thinking about the same thing, which is great. And it's really about the storytelling, and this is a great story. It's not a new story, it's just a different version of a story, and I like that, but the messages in this are really good.
And I think the twist is interesting. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing about changing over the factory and looking for a different market area, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and there's some really great characters. So we're bringing Elijah in, and then 6 years ago when we did La Cage aux Folles, Mitchell Mateus came in to play Matt Cadman's son in the role, and he was just out of college at that time. And since that time, Mitchell has been in the national touring company of Kinky Boots. So he's been all over.
He knows the part.
He knows the part. And in fact, it's kind of funny because I remember they were playing in Seattle and the Capitol Theater. A whole bunch of people here went to see him in the Capitol Theater in Yakima. And he's just a beloved person here, and everybody's so happy to have him back. He's just a sweetheart. Major beautiful voice. And Elijah, wow. I mean, these are two hugely powerful voices. Local voices, we have Ainsley Shearer in one of the fun character roles, but a really funny song. We have Matthew Pippin in the show, not just in the show, but also one of our major sponsors this year with the March of the Pippin that he does. So he came in as one of the sponsors. We've got great sponsors this year, more than ever.
Cool, good.
We had people coming to us. So I love the.
Well, it's cool to be connected with one of your shows. I mean, people take a sense of, hey, yeah, I'm connected with one of Jamie's productions.
I love and appreciate that so much.
People really enjoy that.
To go from, nobody will come to summer theater for that, to people now chomping at the bit to be sponsors. And you know, that's a good place to be.
Yeah. And that says a lot about the work you do, how enjoyable you are to work with, what a good director you are. I mean, not just a good director, but just a good person to work with, that people say, I want to be connected with this guy. And that's, you know, hey, I give you that, dude. But hey, we're going to come back.
All right.
You know, we're going to take a break. Okay. Well, we'll talk about it when we get back. But Jaime Donegan, who is the driving force, the spirit behind, the director of the Hot August Night shows. Once again, going to do Kinky Boots this year. We'll talk again about where to get your tickets, but we take a break and we're going to come back, talk a little more with Jaime. So hey, Street Talk and other stuff. You stick around. We will be right back. So.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill, located in East Wenatchee. Highlander Golf Course has added 2 state-of-the-art full-swing simulators. Food and drink service is available from our full-service bar and grill, offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Indoor and outdoor seating available. Call Shalane, our on-site coordinator, to schedule your special event.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a 4-letter word.
I think we should hire more people.
Doc, I'm late for a meeting.
I'm thinking of starting my own practice.
Do it. Too much capital.
We need a warehouse.
I can't imagine how we do that.
We should knock that wall down and expand.
Do it. There's always another wall beyond the wall.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
Few things strike fear in the human heart, like the possibility of a rattlesnake bite. Dogs can encounter rattlesnakes on their walks or in their yards, and being curious, often get bitten on their face, neck, and legs. Luckily, a vaccination is available to help neutralize venom so dogs experience less pain and swelling. Even if your dog has received a vaccine, you still need to seek immediate help. Dr. Shauna Bayes and the staff of Paws and Claws care about your pet's health. Call 888-PAWS to schedule your vaccination today.
Okay, we're back. Talking with Jaime Donegan, who was the director of Hot August Night Show, Kinky Boots coming up, opens again when?
August 3rd through the 19th.
all right.
Thursday,
Okay.
Fridays, and Saturdays.
But you've been somebody, you've devoted your life to the performing arts, okay? Tell us a little bit about that background. What made you make that decision? How's it been? How's the product? Tell us, give us some backstory.
Cool. Well,
because you're an interesting guy.
My dream, I went to Indiana University. Actually went to University of Evansville first, and then I went to Indiana University. I wanted to be a performer. Went through the whole theater program, graduated, and my first job out of college was a costumer. I was a costumer for American Ballet Theater, a branch of their tour. And then my next job was directing a Follies show.
Okay, all right.
And so I took this job with this company in New York, and they started sending me all over the United States, and I would go and put on these big Follies.
Okay, so you were working for another company that did this type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I worked for them for 10 years, and then I quit, and wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I knew that I didn't want to work for that company anymore. That was the bigger thing. And then a friend of mine that I had made friends with in Spokane, I used to do the Follies shows for Sacred Heart Medical Center, and she called me and she goes, you know, why don't you just get off your butt and start your own company and do the Follies thing? And so I thought about it for a little bit, and then everything just sort of started coming towards me, and it was easy. The path was easy, and I am a big advocate of where the path is easy, at least start down that path.
Okay, yeah.
Because, yeah, you might have some roadblocks ahead, but if everything is opening up to make it happen,
things are working for you,
go towards it. And if it's profitable and it feeds your soul and makes you happy, go towards it.
Okay,
so I did.
Okay, now how about the switch from actually being a performer to being the person who was the director? Was that a difficult switch, or?
No, because you're still performing.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you have to be on stage all the time.
All right,
And actually, even more so as a director, once the show opens, you step back and you don't have to do anything. But all through rehearsals, you got to be on stage and moving people forward, especially because I would be sent to towns and cities all over the country. I'm walking in, I don't know a single person. I've talked to a couple of them on the phone, but I don't know any of the dynamics. I don't know anything. And in 1 month's time, I have to make a show that is successful. And so I got into that. I've been doing it now 43 years.
Yeah, you've been doing it quite some time. So you've been doing Wenatchee shows for 23.
23 years here.
Follies shows.
Yeah, and so once you do a Follies show, everything else is sort of just falls in line, because it's to be able to do a show in a month, which is how I do Hot August Nights.
Yeah, it's intense. It's an interesting
really
experience.
3.5 weeks of rehearsal. And then you do a show. So it's intense. But you get the right people in the right roles, and you give them the scripts ahead of time, and they learn the music. It's not as hard. Yeah, there's pressure for sure. I'm feeling the pressure right now.
Yeah, I'll bet. Yeah, well, you're getting down to the nitty-gritty now.
We open in a week, a little over a week, and
well,
there's still a lot to do.
Yeah, before the show, you said you did a run-through of the show, and you're actually fairly pleased with it.
Yesterday we did a first run-through, see where we were, and we were very pleased with where it is right now. We've got a lot of work to do, but I'm very excited about the direction we're going in, and I feel like the cast, for the first time, took a little breath and was like, oh, okay, we're on track. We're going to make this happen. But I started applying to directing projects like this in other places around the country. I started applying my work ethic that I do with the Follies, fast and furious. Let's keep it fresh and exciting, so that as you're doing your performances, you're actually peaking instead of doing months and months of rehearsal. Right. And then, it's kind of drags, and you just want the show to happen. Yeah. It's happening before you even know it, and you're right on the edge, you got to jump, and it's really exciting. That is exciting to me as a director. That feeds my soul, that kind of fast, furious, on the edge.
So you're feeling a whole lot of fulfillment over the way your life is. I mean, I think that's important. As a counselor, people come to me and they want to be happy. Yeah. I say happiness is fine. Constitution guarantees you the right to pursue it, but it's fulfillment. Feeling that you're having a fulfilled, meaningful life.
Absolutely.
So, well, great, cool.
Yeah, I think, people frequently say, you are living such a great life.
Yeah.
And I say, well, we create our own lives.
Yeah, it's very true. Exactly, yes.
We create our lives. And so if you're unhappy, fix it. Figure it out. And a lot of people feel trapped, like maybe their marital status or their kids or everything, they feel trapped and they have to stay in this. And I get that. I truly am not knocking that. I'm just saying that there are ways, there are consequences, but there are ways to change your life.
We need to look inside ourselves. What is it that is important to us? What is it that drives us? I mean, a lot of people wait for some exterior thing to change. I mean, I did when I was younger too, and then I finally realized, hey, if you're going to make something happen, you got to do it, you know, and that's been the course of my life since then. You know, I mean, people will ask me, can you do this? And I'll think about it, I'll pray about it, but then I make the decision. I don't expect to have some exterior
and I'm a Gemini. I don't know if you knew that about me or not. Are you?
Yeah.
We're going to do open hands this time. Okay. I have a lot of things that I need to feed my soul. Theater is one of them, and entertaining is part of that. But I also really love nature. I love gardening. I love tending gardens. I love making sure that it looks a certain way. And for a long time, when I lived in Philadelphia, I had my Follies business, which was like spring, fall, and winter.
Right.
And then I had a garden design business in the
Cool.
summertime.
Very cool.
So I was getting both parts fed, and working with thousands of people here, working alone, digging in the dirt, planting flowers over here. Those two things were my balance.
Excellent. Cool.
I needed, and I needed that summer time to make this happen.
Yeah, great.
So now it's kind of, I flipped. I work at Fielding Hills Winery throughout the year, different parts of the year, but in the summertime, I get to garden there, and I get to make the grounds look good, and so I get that part fed, which is really good for me.
Right.
But then I get to make a production on a stage, and so I'm sitting in dark theaters, playing with lights and sound cues and costumes and theater and all of that, and then outside, beautiful sunny days.
Cool, excellent.
Watching the hummingbirds buzz around me.
I know the feeling, because I sit there and say, I got to do something, I got to do something. And I say to Rosie, I say, well, somebody's doing this play, can I audition? She says, yeah, I think you should. I said, well, are you gonna bitch about it? And she says, yeah, I will, but you should do it anyways.
We're allowed to say bitch online?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
No, I am, you're not.
All right, I wouldn't agree with it.
Okay.
I don't like to go down that path anyway. There's way too much fun to be had.
We are talking to one of my favorite people, one of my favorite guests, definitely, Jaime Donegan. He's the director of the Hot August Night Show, Kinky Boots. It's coming up. We're going to give him one last time after the break to tell you where to get tickets and stuff. But hey, we need to take a quick break, so Street Talk and other stuff. You stick around. We will be right back.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
Most of us are in touch with the internet in one way or another all day long. A fast, secure connection matters. It keeps us entertained, informed, and in touch. Locatel cares about your connection. We know strong, reliable internet with your choice of speed makes life better. If you need fast, reliable internet, or maybe an upgrade, or you just have questions, connect with us by visiting locatel.com or call 509-888-8888 today.
Hi, everybody. Dan Coos alongside Jesse Coble from Alpine Air. There's ice on my heat pump and under my heat pump.
Well, ice under your heat pump is normal. When we go into a defrost cycle, it melts the frost off, creates water, which freezes to the ground. Ice around your heat pump is a thing that you should probably give us a call about.
Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air for heat and air. Call Alpine Air. Thanks, Jesse.
Thanks.
Okay, Jamie, thanks again. But here, real quick, show information.
Show information. Tickets are still available, but they, like I said, they are selling like hotcakes. And if you want to see this amazing show with some of the most incredible performers, you better get tickets fast because they are really going.
All right.
So,
Okay.
NewAmericaPack.org for tickets, or stop by the box office. Zach and whoever the volunteer is that day, everybody's so friendly and they're lovely and they help you find your seat. You will come out of this show singing and dancing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jamie, thanks again. Street Talk and other stuff. We will see you next week is an important show. We'll see you then. You have a great week.
This wasn't an important show.
Bye-bye. Yes, it is important.
Super important.
Travel coast to coast meeting the sports stars of tomorrow. We'll talk to basketball prospects in California and Mississippi. And we'll also stop in Texas for the nation's highest rated junior. We'll visit Florida to hear from a rising phenom in tennis. And NBA great Chris Bosh will chat with us in this week's Journey to Greatness. Those stories and more are coming up next on Sports Stars of Tomorrow.
Hi everyone, I'm Charles Davis, and welcome to Sports Stars of Tomorrow. Today we'll be introducing you to some outstanding